What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Puck and Ball podcast. Matt, Michael, I'm your host, Evan. We're going to put a little bookmark in the NFL talk and get to some NHL that starts tomorrow night, so let's get it up and running. We're going to start with the New York teams here in New York. Michael and Matt have a lot to say about the Rangers. I have some stuff to say about the Isles. So, Matt, just Rangers thoughts for the season, thoughts on the offseason. What are you expecting this upcoming year?
Well, immediately after watching preseason, I have a big concern, and I think Michael's going to know what it is. It's going to be Jonathan Quick.
Yeah.
I never thought the signing was great, and Halak was not amazing last season. I think possibly Quick could be worse than Halak was. He looked bad in preseason. He's old. The whole idea was that he was going to help mentor Igor, but does Igor really need any more mentoring at this point? But besides Quick, I think it's basically the same team. I don't think they're as good as the Devils, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm worried about Quick too. I don't know. The Rangers season shouldn't rely on a backup goalie, so like that's not the biggest deal in the world. And Igor is obviously unreal if he stays healthy, plays a lot of games. But I do think it's important to steal games when Igor's not playing, and if Quick's letting up 4 or 5 a game, it's going to be pretty hard. And then other than that, like the I feel like the Rangers are full of a lot of like boomer bust players. Like you never know when Mika and Panarin and them are just not going to show up, and then there's a lot of reliance on the young guys. So I don't know. I'm tempering my expectations. I feel like I'm a little pessimistic for the season. They were finished very poorly. They got worse since the playoffs, like that roster. So hopefully Igor just has no cold streaks because he did at some point last season, and they could just play off him.
I mean, you kind of haircut.
Yeah,
oh my god!
Maybe that will make him play better than his playoff disaster.
Do you think Laviolette has any impact, or is it just the roster and not as much coaching as last year?
I mean, I think it's good change. I mean, Gallant was so hands off as a coach that they need more of a system. A lot of these Rangers guys are getting hurt in training camp. I'm wondering how hard he's pushing them, but I'm happy. I wasn't really a fan of Gallant. I know Michael wasn't either. I mean, I'm not a coaching expert. But I'm just happy for the change.
Yeah, I agree. I think I forgot to mention it, but that's probably the biggest thing to watch with them is if Laviolette, switching Gallant to Laviolette's going to have a big difference, because I know majority of the fan base was pretty much done with Gallant after the Devils series.
Yeah, but it wasn't the whole thing that they wanted to play Kakko, Loff, and all them, but didn't he come out and say right away that they're going to play?
I don't know. I'm not sold on Laff this year. I
Really?
feel like they just re-signed.
Yeah.
I think it was a 2-year deal. I just don't see it in him. You look at Bedard, even in the preseason, his skating's amazing. Kakko, not as great as we expected, but he just looks better. Like, he looks like he can possess the puck well, has a lot of upside. Laff just looks slow, like a fourth liner.
You talked about Laff a little bit, like they re-signed him. What do you think about Blake Wheeler? Can he have any impact, or is it just another veteran presence in the room for a kind of young team and some depth, I guess?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm hoping it's not one of those signings where, like, a month into the season, all the Rangers fans are like, this guy can't play, because I feel like that happens a lot. But, I mean, I thought he was solid on the Jets?
Yeah, the Jets.
So, I mean, maybe that'll make an impact. But I think the player to watch is Will Cooley, who had a great preseason. And if he can make an impact, that would be important.
I just kind of think that they're putting not too much faith. I mean, he's the center of the team, but too much pressure on Igor, because I just feel like it's just what is his 5th year in the league, 4th year in the league already?
Yeah, something like that.
They cannot waste another year of him. They can't. They have to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again, in my opinion.
Well, I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, I actually don't have high hopes for the season. Like last year, I did going into it, but I don't know. And also, I don't have high hopes for Wheeler. It's just a big red flag that the Rangers signed a guy who got stripped of his captaincy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you kind of mentioned like your hopes for the Rangers. What do you think? Playoffs, not playoffs, first round exit? Just give me a quick prediction.
Yeah, I would say playoffs, but like finishing third in the Metro and losing first or second round.
Yeah, I think definite playoffs. I think they're definitely at most the third best team in the Metro after the Hurricanes and the Devils. But I just think they're going to lose in the first round again. These guys just don't have the juice like other teams, like the Hurricanes. They don't have the grit. As long as Igor can steal games, I feel okay. But I don't think he's going to be able to like every single playoff game.
Yeah.
Look, I just think the Rangers have all the pieces. They have the firepower up front. Even saying this as an Islanders fan, they have the firepower up front. They have top 3 goal in the league, a good defensive core, top 3 defensemen on the back end. What's the issue with them? Like, why are you guys so pessimistic?
Fourth
I'm really
line.
confused.
Because of the past, the Rangers, they never,
Okay, that's fine. You're just from the
It's just-
past. But
we're-
did you say
we're-
fourth line, Matt?
The fourth line doesn't really. I think all these Stanley Cup winning teams or deep run teams have a contributing 4 lines. And last year the
Okay.
Rangers didn't have any fourth line help. And then stars like Panarin was absent in the series. You need every single line. I just don't
Yeah.
think they have it.
Yeah,
No,
and,
I
and
see
another thing I noticed when the Rangers are playing against good teams is there's one line on the ice that you feel like is always on the ice, and you're like, oh, get them off because they're so good. I feel like the Rangers don't have that. Like they don't
Yeah.
have like, a line of guys that like another team is like scared of playing against.
No, I can see that. Let's go to the other New York team, my Isles. You know, I have decent expectations. I think it's going to be the same team. Do you guys, before I go on my little rant, do you guys have anything to say? I know you guys love Sorokin, but what do you guys want to say about that? If anything.
I mean, I'm not. I don't have a lot of information on the Islanders except for that they're not great. I'm just joking. I think so. I mean, they're the same team as you
Yeah.
said. The East is so much better than the West. If they were in the West, I would think they could make the playoffs, but I don't know. I just don't think they're the best. And Sorokin's great, but they're just a boring team. With all honesty, you know it, Evan. You
No,
can't.
yeah, it's I don't know if it's the team, but I would say their play style.
It's just yeah,
Like,
and that's bad.
I think that's a Lou Lamoriello issue because he's still back in the 2000s when he won the cup and he built his team around ground and football terms, ground and pound, chasing in deep, retrieve the puck to the point, shoot from the point. Like that doesn't work today. The NHL is getting younger. Connor Bedard's coming in. McDavid's skating around everyone. That doesn't work. You need to have speed, and the Isles just don't have that. And they just look old. It's an old team, and the only thing that can save them is Sorokin, in my opinion. But he didn't have the best preseason, and I was in the building for a preseason game against the Devils JV team. Not a single starter except Luke Hughes was on the ice. Their third string goalie and not a single starter for the Devils on the ice, and they got the shoes knocked off them 3-0. Not a single bright spot in the game. So they beat the Rangers in a preseason game. My expectations went up, and then it just went right back down to ground zero. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, we shouldn't buy too much into preseason.
Yeah, but
it's definitely a concern. I mean, I would probably just take the Islanders as like a wild card team.
That's like what my prediction is just a wild card team that stays in it, goes out of a playoff spot, and eventually I think they get into a wild card spot just because of Sorokin. I mean, that's really it for me.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go to the Devils. I'm gonna take them. We're gonna go to division champions real quick. I'm gonna take them as my Metropolitan Division champions. I just think they got better. Tyler Toffoli coming in. It's the same roster. Lindy Ruff has them doing pretty well last year. I think they build on what last year brought to them. An unexpected team got swept. Their quick exit from the Hurricanes, and I think they have some juice to the fire and win a great Metro. I mean, that Metro division is great. Carolina got better. Dmitry Orlov coming in, Michael Bunting coming in, re-signed Anderson and Ranta. I think Carolina is going to be up there, but I think the Devils get it done.
I agree with the Devils. I think they're going to be a better team than last year, more experience. I don't know if you guys saw. I saw an interview with Jack Hughes saying how they put so much emotion into the Rangers series that they were done going into Carolina, and I think they'll learn from that and just be a better team. My only concern is the goalies. Vitek Vanacek is a great not great actually. He's a decent regular season goalie. He had a good save percentage last year. And Akir Schmidt, I don't know if it was just a run or he's actually a good goalie, but that's definitely the dark spot of the team. So if the goalies are good, I think they're going to be unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. I also have the Devils winning the Metro. I think it'll be a good battle between. I mean, it's really a 2-man race between them and Carolina to win the division. But yeah, the Devils, great playoff run. They have just so much young juice. There's so much like excitement around them, and I do think the goalies is a little bit of concern, but they're Vitek and Schmidt are like serviceable. They're not horrible,
They
and they can play well. So as long as the offense is keep scoring as much as they do, I think they'll be really good.
I want to touch on this a little bit. What do you think about the Penguins this year? Adding Eric Carlson, kind of the same roster. I mean, they're getting older. Crosby's not getting any younger. Letang, Malkin, they're both not getting any younger. Do you think they have any chance at the Metro? And if not, playoff spot maybe?
I don't know. They had a pretty disappointing season. Not much changed. Carlson doesn't really move me a lot. It's just like he's good, but he's not
He,
like a
he
true
won the
defense.
Norris last year, dude.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I agree with Michael here.
Really?
Yeah, it's I just see a difference in someone like Adam and actually Cale McCarr, just a better player, more of an impact. Yeah, congratulations, Evan. I'm also not a huge fan of Tristan Jarry.
Yeah.
He was not great last year. He's good. I don't know what happened. I just think the Metro is too stacked right now.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think they're going to be a team like the Isles, in and out. And I mean, the Isles would have been out if they could beat if the Penguins could beat the Blackhawks.
yeah,
If the Penguins beat the Blackhawks that one night, they would have been in the spot. Isles would have been out.
yeah.
Like it's just they were one game away. So I think they're going to be a team like the Isles. They're going to stay in and out, and eventually, I don't think they get in personally, just because I don't think the goaltending is as good as those other teams like a Sorokin and like a Shesterkin.
Yeah, I think the Penguins move me more as like a team you're kind of scared to face in the playoffs rather than like
Yeah,
someone in the regular season. Like if they make the playoffs, which it'll be tight, I think they're just like last year going to be in and out. But if they make the playoffs, it's definitely a team to watch to steal a series or two.
I agree.
let's go to the Atlantic in a stacked Eastern Conference like mentioned before. Michael, give me your Atlantic Division champions.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Boston again. I think they're gonna be, I guess, like mad at how their season ended and play with more fire and kind of like they know how to win in the regular season clearly. So I think they're gonna do it again. They didn't change much in their roster. They lost a few guys. They lost who they lose Bertuzzi,
Bergeron.
Bergeron, and Orlov.
Yeah,
That seems pretty
I mean,
significant.
it's pretty
That's
significant, but they still have the best goalie duo in the league. Like Olmark and Swayman are both very good, and then I mean Pasta is probably an MVP candidate again. And I just think, and it's a very tough division, so it's kind of hard to pick. But yeah, I think they have another great season. Maybe they'll play better in the playoffs this year.
Before we move past and Matt goes ahead, just touching on the Bruins, do you think Olmark's not doing better than last year? If he
No
does,
way. No way.
great for him. Prove me all wrong. But does that concern you at all? Because, like, you know,
I feel like when I watched the Bruins last, obviously Olmark was amazing, but I feel like when I watched the Bruins, a lot of it was
more
just
of
their
Yep.
skaters were just so good that it was
Mhm.
so hard to just like maintain possession, like get a lot of shots on goal. Like I'm not saying Olmark's job was easy because he played great, but it was easier than a lot of goalies.
Yeah.
And I think that made a difference, and I think they're not gonna be as good, but they're still gonna be very strong on defense and on offense.
No,
You've got
makes
to
sense.
remember that they started Swayman over Olmark in Game 7. Olmark had a really disappointing playoff, so
Yeah.
I don't think I agree. I don't think he's that good. I don't even think he's a top 5 goalie in the league. Could have possibly just been a fluke season. I think Swayman's actually better than him. Probably would be a starter on most teams.
I don't know if I could say that right now.
Yeah, I don't know, but Swayman's
Dude,
really good.
Swayman's a top 5 backup goalie. He is.
He's probably the best.
Maybe top 2. I agree. But Matt, go ahead. Give me your Atlantic champions.
I hate to say it, but I'm going to do Toronto. I just don't think Boston's as good as they were last year because of the people they lost. And every year is Toronto's year. I still think they're a first round exit, but they're the definition of a regular season team. If Samsonov can stay healthy, they have everything they need. And I just don't think the Bruins are that good.
You said it. I don't think Samsonov is that good of a goalie. I don't know if he can take them there. No? Any comments?
I will say Samsonov is definitely worse than Olmark and Swayman.
Yeah.
But I just trust Toronto. Like they got something last year, making it to the second round, even though they got swept. I think they'll build off of it, and then they'll just lose in the first round again. So It's okay.
I think you guys are missing a team. Maybe you think it was a Cinderella run. Cinderella. I'm gonna choose the Panthers as my champions for the Atlantic.
I almost did.
It's the same roster. Granted, it was a hot team that got hot. They added a couple pieces. Oliver Ekman-Larsson comes in for some veteran presence. Bobrovsky's still there. Granted, he's getting a little older, but Kachuk, dude, I just think he's gonna build upon. I think he wins the MVP. If it's not McDavid,
Pick.
if it's not McDavid, that's not my pick. It's McDavid. But okay, we'll get to that. But they have Spencer Knight, who's coming back from his time off. He's in the AHL right now, but who knows? I think it's the same team. Barkov. I don't know. I just think it's a good team that'll add to last year. And like you said, they get a little mad how it ended in the finals against Vegas. So that's my prediction.
I do want to ask you this, Evan. Bobrovsky really wasn't that great in the regular season.
Yeah.
Do you think he can maintain how he played in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, no, but I think he's serviceable enough. Because I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about Kachuk this year. Because the playoff run last year was historic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An 8 seed to the finals, I mean, come on.
Didn't Bobrovsky have a bad game coming off a break in the playoffs?
Yeah, it was the layoff between the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals.
Yeah.
We talked about that at one point.
So there is maybe some sense to saying Bobrovsky's a goalie that when he's playing a lot of hockey in a row, he could get hot and good, which you're not really doing in the regular season because you're going to have some games off where the backup's going to play and there's more time in between games. So I don't know.
But I just don't know if Anthony Stolar, as the new backup, is going to play over him when it's not a back-to-back.
Yeah.
So he's going to play every other night or every 3 nights.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's like less, I guess, momentum in the regular season than you could gain.
Less urgency is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like he thrived off just like having that, like the playing back to back games against the same team, and as he kept playing well, he kept getting better, and maybe that's why he performed better in the playoffs than the regular season.
No, I can see that. I definitely can. Let's go to the West Central Division. Michael, go ahead.
I have Colorado. I mean, they're, I guess, the powerhouse of that division. They have so many guys that are so good. McKinnon, Rantanen, there's not much to say. They're the best team in the division, and I think they had a bit of a disappointing season last year, but we saw what they could do the year before that, and I think they win it pretty easily.
I completely agree with you, Michael. Can't really say anything else, but I do want to ask, what's going on with Gabriel Landeskog? I know he had an injury. Is he playing this year?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's out the whole year. But give me just let me fact check that. You guys keep talking. Let me fact check.
And what was the injury that led to this? This is crazy. He's out so much.
It was a knee injury.
Yeah.
But injuries, yeah, he's out the whole year. I think. No, that was last year. Sorry. He'll miss. Yeah, he's gonna miss the whole year.
Wow,
he's gonna miss the whole year.
Situation here.
That's I don't know, but that's a big issue. It is.
Yeah.
Because
who's your pick, Evan?
I have the Avs too. I do have the Avs. I think a full year of Kale, dude. He got in it. He was in and out. He was on and off the ice because of injuries. He had a concussion at one point, and then he had another injury. I just think they stay healthy. He'll stay healthy. There's no NHL 24 curse like the Madden curse, and I think they get it done. I think Georgiev shows why they paid him the big bucks. I think him and Francouz is a pretty decent duo, and McKinnon, dude. I mean McKinnon.
Did you like that I left off Kale when I was talking about the Avalanche good players?
Yeah, I mean, you can't say Avalanche good players and not say Kale. You really can't. I just think they stay healthy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go to the other division in the West, the Pacific. Matt, go ahead, give me your pick.
Taking the Stanley Cup champs, Vegas. I'm not concerned at all about this team. I think this division's pretty weak. I just don't know about Logan Thompson. It kind of seems like he was just on a run in the playoffs, but overall the team is so good. I'm not concerned about them at all.
Yeah, I'm taking Edmonton. I don't know, McDavid. That's really all it is, and obviously Draisaitl. But yeah, I mean the Edmonton, their goalies are very questionable. That's the big issue with them, and it has been for the past few seasons. But I mean, I feel like it's not as important to have elite goaltending in the regular season as it is the playoffs. So I think they have a very successful regular season, win the division, and then find their problems in the playoffs.
Yeah, I have Edmonton as well. I think McDavid, dude, like you said, and I think the goalies can't play much worse than they did last year. Realistically, they can't play
Yeah.
worse. The playoffs was just a terrible
Mhm.
showing from them, and maybe they go out and get a goalie before the trade deadline. Maybe they go get I don't know, a Semyon Varlamov or something. Who knows? But I think the signing of or trading for Matisse Ekholm last year is pretty good to pair him with Evan Bouchard. So McDavid, Draisaitl. I don't really think there's much more to say to that. But speaking of
Mhm.
McDavid, MVP predictions for this year, Michael. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with McDavid. I mean, he's it's the type of thing where he's just by far better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Like he's just in a tier of his own, and as long as he's healthy, there shouldn't be any competition because he's probably going to average over a point a game, and he's absurd.
Yeah, I also take McDavid. It's the obvious pick.
Yeah, we're boring. I have McDavid too. I mean, dude, like you said, the only thing that could hurt him is an injury. And God forbid he doesn't get injured, but hopefully he doesn't. But that's really the only thing that can hurt him, like you said. But let's go to the Vesna. I think I know who you guys are gonna take. Let's just say it real quick.
Igor.
Igor.
On
Yeah.
on three. Don't say it too fast, guys. But talk about it a little bit.
All right, I'll tell you why I'm picking him. So, he had the great season 2 years ago, Vesna, and his season last year was subpar with a 916 save percentage, which was 10th best in the league, which is still amazing. But he said a quote after the season. I read articles about this. He said that he
So
went into
proper.
this last season. He went into the season thinking it'd be easier because of his season before. And I think this was an important year for him to learn that nothing is easy in the league. So I think he'll go into the season with a different mindset and just be amazing again.
Yeah, I mean, not much else to say. I mean, he's in my opinion the best goalie. Bassi is injured. Olmark's not going to do that again. I just think he has the best chances at it relative to other goalies, and if he can just not have the little cold streak like he did last year, I mean, his numbers, even in a cold streak, like Matt said, he's still amazing. So I think he stays consistent and wins it.
We're not biased here or anything, but I'm gonna take
No, of
Sorokin.
course not.
No, I'm not gonna take Sorokin or anything. Like we're definitely not biased, but give me Sorokin. I mean, dude, he's just so good. He's so I just the Isles just give up so many shots, and he's always there for them. I mean, it
Mhm.
sounds a little weird, but like he's the heart of the team as a goalie. Because
Yeah.
without like he shows his valuability. Is that a word?
Yeah.
His value. He shows his value. He shows his value.
Yeah,
What are we
so
doing? Not
that's
English
cool.
class. He shows his value. I mean, also the system is just, it's not a skate up the ice. It's more of a defensive system. They still have the Barry Trotz genes in them,
Mhm.
but I don't know. He's just so talented, and he kind of got robbed of one last year from a historic season. Granted, but he faced the highest danger chances danger percentage last year. It's like shots that were dangerous, whatever. But I don't know. He's just good.
I give you credit. He is actually very good. Like I'm not even going to deny it. He's
Yeah,
second, in my opinion, second best in the league, which is still good. I
probably
mean,
agree.
Yeah, we just forget about every single goalie besides the two that we like at this point. So
they're the two best.
yeah. Speaking of best defenseman is
Wow, that was a crazy transition.
transition.
no, but I was gonna add on a little more bias from you two. Best defenseman. What do we
No
got
bias.
with the
Cale
Norris?
Oh, I'm not picking Fox.
Okay,
You
go ahead,
picking?
Michael.
I'm picking Rasmus Dahlin.
What makes you say that?
He's a young guy. He had a great season last year, and I just think I feel like he's more of like a. I could be wrong because I don't know much about Rasmus Dahlin, but I feel like he's more of like a offensive driven defenseman, which is helpful in the Norris. Like Carlson won, and he can't play defense, so I think that he's gonna. I mean, the Sabres are gonna be solid, and I think he's gonna now that he's more like a bigger name in the league that he's gonna get his recognition.
He got paid the big bucks, by the way. What
Yeah.
was it, 11 a year?
Wow.
The big bucks. All right, Matt, go ahead.
Cale Makar. I'm hoping the Chell curse hits after the season, just so Fox gets it next year. I mean, yeah, if he could stay healthy, he's the best. He's the best defenseman in the league overall. Like Michael said, at some point, like that, you could just say that Norris is the best offensive defenseman.
Yeah.
Carlson is not a great defender. Fox is way better than him. But I think Cale Makar is just great offensively and defensively. Definitely the best in the league.
Music to my ears, Fred, but I'm going to take Cale as well. I mean, a point per game player, more than a point per game player last year. He played 3/4 of the season. If he didn't get injured, he was on pace for 100 points again, just under. As a defenseman, it's crazy. He would have been in the conversation with Carlson. He still kind of wasn't he? I think he was a finalist. He still was in that conversation. I think he stays healthy. Hopefully, the injuries are past him. He gets it done. He's the best defenseman, pure talent. If we're talking pure talent, it's him.
For sure.
His skating ability, his release is, I don't know. He's just great.
I'm
just
disappointed
great.
None of us picked Fox, but I didn't want to pick him because I picked Igor for Vezina.
All right, let's go. Let's go really far in advance. Stanley Cup champions. Let's start with your matchup and then your champions. Go ahead, Matt.
I'm going to take Carolina versus the Avalanche, and I'm picking Carolina as my winner. Michael?
Yeah, I'm taking the Devils versus the Avalanche, which hurts to say, but I'm going to take I actually didn't pick a winner before this. So I'll take it right now and say Colorado.
I have the same exact thing as Michael. Without telling each other, I have Colorado versus the Devils. Dude, I mean, the Avalanche just got better. If they could stay healthy, I really don't think there's a team better than them on paper. Ryan Johansson coming in. I have it up here. Miles Wood coming in. Ross Colton from Tampa has some experience with the Cup. I think they get the division wiped out. I think they get it 100%. But dude, that team is just so good on talent. I mean, Kale, McKinnon, Rantanen, who we haven't even mentioned at all. And maybe Landeskog comes back. I mean, he'll still be in the building, the captaincy. So, I mean, who really knows? But I think the Devils do get there as well. I think, dude, that team's just so young and talented and fast. And Tyler Toffoli coming in with some experience. Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, who we haven't even mentioned. He's a tank, that kid. I saw him the other night. He's big. He's talented. He could skate. But, yeah, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with everything with the Devils, and the thing that's holding me from not picking them to beat Colorado is just I just goaltending, and I just don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready to take that step. I think the first step last year was having a successful run into the playoffs and then winning a playoff series. Now the next step is to push a Eastern Conference Finals or Stanley Cup run, and then after that, then I'll say I'm ready to pick them to win the Cup.
One at a time. I like that.
Fair
Yeah,
point.
It might be a little too soon. I could see that as well, but that team's just young and they got the juice. But let's go 3 games tomorrow night. Triple header on ESPN, 5:30, 8:30, 10:30. Starting off with the Predators going to Tampa to take on the Lightning. Let's start with picks real quick. Michael, give me your pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lightning. Even though they don't have Vasi, I just like their team's just better than the Predators. The Predators were pretty disappointing last year, if I'm correct. And they have some guys there, but yeah, the Lightning are the more experienced team, and it's a regular season game. It's kind of a pick 'em.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Lightning. I'm honestly just taking all the home teams here. I think they're all better, and you really don't want to lose your opening night. That's a bad tone. In Lightning are so much more experienced. I don't care if this guy, what's his name, Evan Johansson?
Yeah, Jonas Johansson, something like that. Yeah.
The team in front of him is really good. They're definitely better.
You mentioned Johansson. I'm going to take the Preds just because of the goaltending difference. UC Saros, top 10 goalie. Ryan O'Reilly, who we haven't mentioned, goes to Nashville this year. Roman Yossi's still there. I think they still get it done. And Whoa. What's going on
Evan,
here?
we lost
got
you,
a
bro.
little,
You're laughing.
yeah, got a little issues. Are we back?
I was trying to hold in the laugh.
Are we back?
You're lagging a bit there.
All right. What was the
I
last?
can't see you. All right.
What was
Talking about Johansson on the Lightning?
Are we good?
Oh, there we go.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah,
All
you're
right,
good.
you're back.
Yeah, we're back. All right. What was the last thing you heard from me?
Johansson, you don't like him in goal.
Oh yeah, I don't.
No, I and Saros and
Yeah. So for me, it was the difference in goaltending. Saros in net for the Preds, Johansson in net for the Lightning. Yo, is it still bad?
No.
Yo. Yo.
Michael,
What's
stop.
going on, guys?
Nothing. You're here. You're
The
here.
Evan slander, I guess. All right, whatever. Let's go. Ryan O'Reilly's there. Philip Forsberg, Roman Yossi, top 5 defensemen. Preds get it done. Game 2, Connor Bedard makes his NHL debut in Pittsburgh. Michael, give me your pick.
Yeah, I would love for the Penguins to get led by a rookie in the opener because I hate the Penguins, but I'm going to take the Penguins. Their team's solid. We talked about them a decent amount, and they're just the better team. The Blackhawks obviously got Bedard, but they're still not a good team outside of that.
Yeah, the Blackhawks were like the worst team in the league last year, and Bedard's obviously amazing. But hockey's a sport you can't just have one person.
Yeah.
For the same reason Michael said, I'm taking the Penguins.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a sweep. I think it's just pure talent, pure roster on pure roster difference. Like you said, Bedard can only do so much, and the goaltending, Peter Mrazek. I mean, he's still there. He's been there forever. He's like ancient at this point. But final game, Seattle heads to the defending champ, Vegas. Banner going up, motions early in the game. Michael, give me your pick.
And that's why I'm going to take the Kraken because I think there's going to be so much emotion and excitement, and then they're just not going to be, locked into the game. Kraken are going to want to silence the crowd, and so, yeah, that's why I'm taking them. And I just think that the Knights just are coming off such a successful year. They're due for a little bit of a downturn to start the season.
I actually completely disagree. I'm taking the Knights for that reason. You can't win the cup and lose your opening night, first night of the season. They're playing in prime time, even though no one in America watches hockey. You can't lose. You just can't. That's why I'm taking them.
I second everything that Michael said. I think Seattle is going to go in there. I think there's too much emotions from the opening night ceremony. I mean, I really don't. I don't know why. Cup layover, maybe a little. I don't know. Yeah. I really don't have a better reason. The rosters are similar. It's two great teams. Matt, that smirk is throwing me off, bro.
What?
Smirk is throwing me off. But all right, whatever. Seattle gets it done. Triple header tomorrow night. ESPN. We'll get back to NFL as soon as possible in a couple nights. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching.